Yarg, Zachariah, look here. I found you a strange new familiar. Look at it. It's some kind of weird monster. Keeps biting at me.
It's got meat and fur. All of these extra bits. Are those eyeballs? What is the point of that? This is just a normal honey badger. I don't want this.
Are you sure? And look, and it's clearly evil. They're looking into its eyes. It's got an evil stare.
It's just a honey badger. Even Raven can fly. What's this gonna do?
Oh, honey badger. Hey, let me see that thing. I think this might taste good in some tea.
Oh, okay.
It could probably taste good in a stew or something.
Oh, well, welcome to the stew, evil honey badger.
Welcome back to Sanity Damage, a Dungeons & Dragons play podcast. I'm your Dungeon Master, Nathan. Joining me are Grant.
Zachariah Harros, 100% success rate life coach.
Cody.
Abraham Blavatsky, just happy to have survived that last fight.
Pippin.
Door. What's going on?
Ellen.
Penelope Whitlock. Did you guys see what I did back there? It was so cool.
And Alex.
Orf. I'm just a simple southern seal folk shooting these mind flayers.
Join us on episode 45 of our first campaign, To Whom the Sea Belongs. Last week, you concluded the fight with mind flayers, the first time that any of the main crew has fought a mind flayer, or any of the main PCs, rather, has fought a mind flayer. One of the two mind flayers got away, the other one was slain, and the three of you who had traveled into Cliffsbay together met up with Penelope and Arf, along with Isak and Nelton, who were all kind of a second wave of heroes into the fight that you found yourselves in. We will pick up right as you all make it to the Lion's Den at Isak's insistence, unless any of you absolutely refuse to go there for some reason.
Definitely, Abraham and I just want to remind you, grabbed a couple of the bodies of those creatures. The ape-like creatures? I can't remember what they were called. Quaggoths or something?
Quaggoths, yeah.
Yeah, I know Tor has one.
Yeah, we grabbed 2 Quaggoth bodies, and I grabbed 3 guard bodies. So just for record, we're bringing presents home. We're like cats bringing home
dead animals, yeah.
Subjects for study.
Bones for... Can I have the bones when you're done with them?
Absolutely.
Right, well, I think you should probably just store those corpses out behind the Lion's Den, kind of overlooking the bay. You can tuck them in the bushes back there. Make yourselves at home in the Lion's Den, and I think we should all kind of get reacquainted and let me bring you up to speed on what all's going on here, Isak says as he kind of opens the doorway and waves you all in.
I look at Isak, and the heat of battle kind of wears off. I'm so glad you're okay.
Well, okay might be a stretch, but I'm alive at least, right? And he'll kind of pat you on the shoulder.
I mean, I don't hold that against you. It's totally fine.
All right. Thanks.
I'm going to stow, as he said, I'm going to stow the bodies, and I'm going to set my skeletons and zombies up kind of outside watching for me. I'm going to command them to practice walking in step with each other.
Okay. You'll show Cliffsbay what for.
Is anyone really hurting for hit points?
I have 11 out of 59.
I'm full.
Are you considered undead?
No, I'm not. I don't believe.
That's his daddy's undead.
Is there anyone else? Because then I won't use Prayer of Healing. I'll just use regular.
Tor.
Are you okay, Tor?
Tor could use healing.
I jump. I forget that he was there behind me. Oh my god.
Mr. Tor, would you like some hit points or?
Or just starts nodding his head yes.
Okay. And I will cast Prayer of Healing then, so you get 2d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier back. So that's 6 plus. And I'm also casting it on myself. Zachariah, I can't cast it on you because you're technically undead. So 12 points back.
Nice.
Thank you.
Do you have any sort of like symbol or anything? Do you have like a holy icon or symbol or something?
She kind of points at this like brooch that's on her shoulder, kind of pinned to her cloak, and she's like, "Oh, I mean, it's not much, but it's what the nuns gave me, and it makes me feel special." And she kind of fingers it.
Oh, well, I mean, it allows you to cast powerful evocations.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
very special.
it's very special. Also, it looks really pretty, so I just keep it around.
That's okay. Who's the figure? Who's your god?
I mean, I don't. It's kind of hard to explain because, like, the nuns don't like really necessarily like have a deity that they worship. It's more of like the
Nice.
Church of West Annika, but they kind of taught us like a brief overview about like all the different world religions, but they don't really have a deity specifically that they pray to.
How do you get your powers then? Just
I
like
don't know.
good vibes?
I just wish really hard and then it happens. I don't know. But I don't know the nuns.
It works.
I kind of grew up with the nuns, and they kind of taught me how to channel my powers and how to heal people, and so yeah, I guess that's where it comes from.
I would be interested to meet a nun.
I
Do
mean,
they teach everyone magical powers?
I mean, not everyone. I was told like, I'm pretty gifted for my age. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah.
appreciate your help, you and this fellow. I didn't catch your name.
So during that conversation, so Arf heard "make yourself at home," so he was looking around for like, is there anything to drink in this house or in the lion's den, not house?
Isaac will kind of clap his arm around your shoulder and steer you toward the bar over in the corner. He's like, yes, we are kind of rationing it right now because we're not sure how long this whole shitstorm's gonna last, but you can help yourself to at least a drink or two. I've got
Okay, well,
some
perfect.
ales and lagers, got some whiskeys.
Do you have any wine?
A little bit, yeah. Let's go see what we can get.
Oh, can I have some wine? I mean, I've only had it on like special occasions, but this feels like a special occasion.
She's underage, she just told me.
Suppose you can have some. Penelope.
No. Young lady, no.
Isaac is gonna pour a glass of wine for everyone.
Oh my god.
17 is not underage in a fantasy world.
Mhm.
17 was far from underage in the Middle Ages.
And
You started
in,
drinking
like-
at like 9.
Meat sacks to me, I don't actually care.
in the UK, 17, you could have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
So when Isaac was handing out the wine to everyone else, Arf would like to like grab the bottle of wine and just pour extra into his glass, so it's like mostly like a little more than halfway full, if that's fine.
Isaac will see you doing that, and then he'll tilt it a little bit more so that it's almost entirely full.
Oh, you did mean make yourself at home. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that hospitality.
While supplies last, we had a ship crash into our cliff a little while ago, and we managed to plunder some goods off of it.
Oh, wonderful. The name was Arf. You can call me Arf Orf, he'll say over to Zachariah and kind of hold up his glass.
Oh god, I'll never remember that.
Now, see, it's really simple. You just Arf Orf.
Alan, dwarf.
Almost. So close. Just try one more time.
Orf. I'll get it.
We'll get there, and I'll take a very long sip of my wine.
I don't think I got your name and your friends' names and also the names of the skeletons outside.
Oh, well, that's Nolan, Silton, Harris, Vengeance. I can't even remember all my own fucking skeletons' names. I have named them all though. I'm Zachariah Harris.
Penelope Whitlock, at your service.
Pleased to meet you.
I am Abraham Blavatsky, new in town.
He's a researcher. He's really awesome. I like him a lot.
Is Raven still on my shoulder?
Yeah, you can have her.
What's this friend's name? I really have grown quite fond of her, and I'm just gonna pet her.
That's my owl, Raven.
Raven!
Hi, Raven. I'm just gonna feed Raven some nibbles from my backpack.
Oh god, now she's gonna always expect food.
Is that your familiar?
I guess, technically.
Fascinating.
Can it be my familiar now? Do I have a familiar now?
I mean,
Raven cocks her head and stares at Zachariah.
I need, maybe. We'll talk about it.
Okay, well,
Make some
I have like
considerations.
a mace I could trade. I don't know. We can work something out.
Oh, well, I need a familiar. Not. Let me think. Let me noodle on it. Maybe I can find one of those cool rats. Hey, Nelton, did you find any more of those cool rats? I threw the one you gave me into the sea.
Why would you do that?
I didn't mean to. It was
so
like a
hard for me
moment.
to-
I think I brought Sapphire and Isaac together though. Like it was a whole moment.
Well, Sapphire and Isaac did end up allying. Sapphire's somewhere in this building. I'm sure she'll come and introduce herself later. Or reintroduce herself, I suppose, for you, Zachariah. I haven't brought any more rats back, but I've killed a lot of them, and he looks extremely proud of himself.
I am also proud of you. I think that's what you're doing with your face right now. I'm working on reading that type of thing, but I'm very proud of you. Tor, real quick, if we could have a quick aside there, buddy. Are you dead?
Quizzically, Tor's gonna look at him. No.
I mean, like dead. Like I pull up my sleeve and show him my skeletal arm.
Nelson yells, "Oh my goodness, you're dead?"
Oh, you didn't know that?
No. How was I
take
supposed
off-
to know that?
I take off my mask and my beard. I'm completely. I mean, we're all friends here. You didn't know that?
I had no idea you were a skeleton.
Arf does a
Oh.
spit take with his wine and then pours some more.
Isaac looks over and like splashes his wine. He's like, I don't think I knew that either.
You know, I really planned this reveal being much bigger, and I've I've not done it well a couple of times now. Don't tell Sapphire. I'm gonna make a cool reveal to Sapphire, and I put my beard and my mask back on.
Reveal what to me?
God damn it! Nothing.
Sapphire walks into the room. Again, she's tiefling with like indigo skin and hair and horns that sweep up, kind of like minotaur horns. She walks in, she's got a black cloak on, looks over, she and Isaac share kind of a terse nod, and then she looks over to you, Zachariah, and she goes, "Oh, I have to be honest, I can't remember your name, but I remember the interactions that we've had. It's good to see that you're back in the city."
It's good to see you working with the people of the city.
Well, we are all people of this city. That's what brought us together.
I obviously agree with that.
I think it was you who instigated it, I have to say.
Right. I think you'd remember my fucking name, but yes, that was me.
Harris?
Yeah, Harris. Did you... is there Kenawan in town? Wayfinder?
He's in town, yes. He's helping us as well.
He's okay? He's safe?
As much as any of us are. We're safer
Was there
here
like
than
a
anywhere
frog
else.
person with him? It was a frog, right? Frog. Yeah, frog person.
Frog? No.
Or no,
I think-
turtle. It was a turtle.
Another
Mitchell.
Wayfinder.
Yeah, it was a wayfinder named Mitchell.
Yes, there is another Wayfinder in town. Two Wayfinders in town, actually. One of them is Dragon Turtleborn.
And they're okay also, as far as you know.
As far as I know. I mean, they're both out on mission right now.
Okay. Would they be coming back here after that?
Presumably. This is the safest place in town, Sapphire will say. And she'll take a seat. She'll take a glass of wine and take a seat at one of the like plush, like reclining couch areas in the tavern. Isaac will sit across from her, and he'll beckon that the rest of you kind of make yourselves at home in this area as well.
This moment, Tor's gonna be like standing behind Zachariah, and you just hear him say, "Tor alive," and tap on his shoulder. And Tor has just like cut his palm of his hand, and there's a little bit of blood dripping out, as
Yuck.
like showing proof.
If you ever want
Just
any help
politely
with
bleeding on the floor, waiting on their conversation to end.
Mr. Tor, do you want me to bandage that up for you? I have some bandages.
Tor will walk over.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap his finger up, make sure stops the bleeding.
that, are you trained in medicine, Penelope?
I am. So the nuns that kind of raised me, they help a lot with like the local community, and if someone's unwell, they can go and see the nuns for some healing. So they've taught me a bit of their tricks.
Well, I just noticed his coloring seems a bit off. I hold up his hand while she's bandaging it. If you notice, it looks like the color is kind of drained from his fingertips. His lips are purple. This does not seem completely normal to me.
Can I make a medicine check?
Poor Tor, we're just like poking at him. Stick your tongue out.
Tor would stick his tongue out.
That is a 17 medicine check. What do I find by like poking and prodding him? Like, am I taking his pulse? And
Does he have a pulse?
yeah,
He's bleeding.
he would have a pulse if he's bleeding.
You can answer as much as you want to with that.
Tor is he's bleeding. There's a pulse. It's slow. Steady pulse. Just slow.
I mean, I'm not an expert in, the physiology of goblinkin, but he seems fine to me. Can you cough for me really quick, Mr. Tor? Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Okay. Well, I kind of clap my little skeleton hands together and sit down on the floor. So, how are we taking Cliffs Bay back?
Well, that's the question, Isak will say, and he'll pull his boots off. And in the center of this area, this configuration of couches and chairs, there's like a little coffee table that has maps strewn around on it. These are maps of Cliffs Bay that have been updated to reflect kind of its current standing. You have one of those in your handout folder. I'm dropping another one in your handout folder now. So you should all have Cliffs Bay. You should have Cliffs Bay under threat, which shows more accurately what the city looks like now, complete with some air pollution and some fleshy walls throughout the city.
Beautiful. Fleshy wall. I love fleshy walls.
Is the convent in the bad area, or the... Oh, there we go.
The convent is still in the area of the city that is possessed by not mind flayers. So I just shared one more handout, which highlights different areas in the city. And Isak will kind of explain, pointing to the different areas as he's talking. Now, we, and when I say we, I mean the collective, we call ourselves the Night Cats now. That's the name of the gang that kind of combines all of the other gangs together.
Are you open to workshopping the name a little bit?
Yes, but that's not a priority. We just took Shadow Glove and Pride and stuck them together.
Sure, you want something people can rally behind.
I like night cats.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
thank
Night
you,
Cats.
Abraham.
I also enjoy night cats.
How about Tor?
What's that, Tor?
I like Tor too. Let's do Tor.
How about Tor?
Tor.
No.
Okay, what about the Tor cats?
Tor sits by the seal folk and just grabs the bottle and starts drinking.
All right.
It's very smooth, and my glass is still just as filled up as it was because I keep filling it up as I'm taking sips.
Nice.
Sorry, night cats.
Yeah, so the Night Cats area, that's Pride and the Shadow Gloves, and we actually brought the Red Blades in as well, so the Assassin's Guild are working with and for us now.
Wow, they don't get a name.
There's so few of them. Anyway, and the Magistrate from the Fungal Crags, they're in here with us as well. We have...
I forgot the fun time crabs, sorry. That just came rushing back to me.
That's funny. I'm surprised I never came up with that name. That's good. Yeah, so we've got the yellow area. The collective, the Mind Flayers and their allies, have the purple.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
getting your ass kicked.
We've actually reclaimed a lot of the yellow. It used to be even worse than this.
Yikes.
The red is officially held by the West Anakin Navy and WAP. And the pink, kind of in the top left corner, has declared itself an independent nation and is under new management, according to the humans that live there. Actually, neither of the top dogs are human. I don't know why I said the humanoids, the sentient people, have declared that that's their own independent nation of Glitzcliff. And then the brown kind of in the waters, that's the Taiyangese blockade that's strangling us from seaside.
Yeah, I don't need to tell you this, but you know you're like proper fucked even after we get the Mind Flayers out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am here for the Mind Flayer thing, though. I don't want that to happen.
Sapphire will nod and she'll say, well, none of us want it to happen. I mean, you made a very compelling argument a month ago, Zachariah, when you brought that to our attention. But that's why we are where we are now. We probably would have been wiped out if we hadn't set aside our former territorial bouts. And as she's talking, she and Isak are both kind of side-eyeing each other.
Whoa. I look at Leon. I side-eye Leon.
Leon winks at you, and he yawns and licks his lips. Says, it's good to see you again, Zachariah.
I stroke my beard. It is.
He'll stroke his mane.
I stroke in tune with him. I guess diplomacy is going to have to be of the forefront. We're going to have to work in parallel.
you're eventually going to have to negotiate with the forces in the jungle too. Like there are people out there who want a piece of this.
There are?
Yeah, there's a dude named Henry out there who has a whole army, and they're just like not letting people in or out, and they say that once the Mind Flayer thing is done, they're gonna come in and clean it up and reclaim this land. And I said, you do that, you're gonna get the Taiyangese in here, not what you want. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a council to be had. There needs to be a white flag, a parlay. There needs to be, everyone needs a seat at a table when this is done, and you're going to have to continue the type of collaboration that you are showing now because there are more people to talk to.
It is a mess. And Leon will say, the local or the indigenous people in the forest, I've had run-ins with them before. I believe it's actually them that blew up the City Watch.
Oh, that actually makes sense. I forgot that happened, but yes.
Yeah, we met in the wreckage of my former place of employment.
No, right. A lot has happened,
Right.
Leon. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but like, I'm sure a lot of buildings are wrecked.
Yes, a lot of buildings are wrecked.
Clearly that moment was special to him.
Okay. So we have to take back Cliffs Bay carefully. We can't leave any openings on the south part of town. Is that the south part of town?
You can call it the South. I'll know what you're talking about.
We can't leave any openings on the West Bay district, or that territory is just going to be taken by the locals before we've had a chance to talk.
Sapphire will nod. She will say, Isaac and Raylon and I. Raylon is the head of the Red Blades. The three of us have been discussing a series of tactical objectives that we can use to strategically take the city back. So I'm happy to share those with you, get your input. With your expertise, I mean, here's the thing. We are obviously both leaders of less than legal guilds in this city, or what used to be this city. Now,
I was gonna say they're probably pretty legal now.
You're right. We are the law now.
Right.
Leon will like huff at that, but he won't object to it.
I stroke my beard at him.
Leon purrs.
Gross.
He starts kneading his beard.
Sapphire just kind of looks between the two of you, shrugs, and says, so our guilds are fairly specialized, but we're also not the stuff that makes up legends. We're not heroes that have been on great adventures. At least most of us aren't. The Wayfinders are powerful, the Red Blades are powerful, and you being adventurers that have been far and wide on various quests, I'm willing to wager you have quite a few tricks up your own sleeve, so we will certainly take all the help we can get.
Actually, this is my first adventure, but I'm super happy to be here and super happy to help out where I can.
Elbow Penelope.
Ow! It was really bony.
She's very experienced. She's a cleric of the nun.
She's a kid.
I mean, I'm almost not a kid, but yeah.
Sapphire nods. Okay, all right. And the one of the side doors will open and two figures will stride in. One of them, Zachariah, you immediately recognize as Kinawan. The other you have not met before. He's a drow with slicked back black hair, and his skin is a little bit lighter than typical for a drow. It's still kind of that grayish purple. It's just lighter on the scale than is normal for drow. And Sapphire will gesture over and say, everyone meet Raylon, head of the Red Blades. And I think at least you already know Kinawan of the Wayfinders, and they'll join this council.
Yo.
Kinawan will nod. Yo.
Is Mitsuka okay?
When last I saw her, yes. It's wonderful that she finally came back instead of traipsing about the world on some random side quest. That was good.
I would love to hear more about that if she can be back soon, but yes.
Yeah, she's on a mission right now. I would message her and relay that to her, but I don't know if your hosts have explained this or not. And he'll glance around and he'll say, oh, it seems there's some new faces here as well. Hello, lovely to meet you all.
Hello.
The Lion's Den is the safest place for us right now because we have collectively put powerful wards on it that prevent divination magic and psionics from working at all while you're in here.
Excellent.
Yes. So we can't be scryed upon. We're virtually undetectable. We can't have our minds read. It also means if I try to send a message to Mitsuka, she won't hear it until I am out in the city.
Is this technology portable?
It's a series of runes. It's probably replicable, but I'm sure it would be unique to each situation where it's used.
Got it.
Out of character, Grant, if you spend much of your downtime, basically instead of racking up downtime points, if you spend your time that you would be getting downtime points, instead collecting the runes and kind of the information about how they did that, you can add non-detection to your spell list.
Every spare second I have is going to be used on figuring out the billboard and sending stone system, the audio-visual system from Ricksport.
Yeah.
I'm going to master that magic.
Makes sense. All right. Well, Sapphire and Isaac will show you all the goals that they have been working on, unless anyone else has anything to comment about before we get to that.
I would just also relay to them what was happening in Shigyodai. Shigyodai. If they didn't already know, I would let them know that Zugjaganku, a name, had come up in a island closer to Taiyang, that it was continuing to spread.
Indeed. I feel like I heard the name Zugjaganku a little bit here, but never very much. It was just murmurs, Isaac will say.
I'm just saying it's exactly what happened here. It's happening somewhere else in the world.
Well,
it happens to be happening near the fleet that is currently blockading the city. That could be useful information if we need to ally ourselves together, is what I'm saying. Kenawan, probably our diplomat here.
Certainly, I'm impartial. More so than most of the people in this room, I would say.
You have some work ahead of you.
Oh, don't I know it. Back to the map, Isaac will point to different locations as he speaks. The riverbed complex has been completely overgrown. Sapphire nods. She says, we certainly need to take that back as soon as we can. Expand our territory a little bit. It's nice and defensible. And of course, it's the headquarters of the Shadow Glove, so it would boost morale for that faction. Isaac will point to the Funtime Crabs and say, the pollution that has swept through the entire city, we believe, is originating from the fungal, and he'll point at Zachariah, the Funtime Crabs. We're pretty sure that all of the source of itch in the atmosphere comes from there. Parliament seems to have been overgrown much in the same way as the Sapphire will kind of glare at him and she'll say, the riverbed complex. And then she'll take over. Yes, Parliament seems to have fallen to the same fate. It's not a strategic point for us to take, so it's a lower priority, I believe. Speaking with the people in Glitzcliff, getting the Glitzcliff independent nation, in all of the air quotes, to ally with us could be beneficial. Same with finding a way to secure transportation between us and the legal official West Anakins. The river that cuts through the city, we have a secret passage, as it were, connecting our territory across the river, but it's in need of repair. We need to shore it up a little bit to be sure we can easily get across the river.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
I cross my arms and sit back at the mention of that.
No secret passages for me.
And just in general, securing the Twin Islands a little bit more, securing the West River and West Bay districts, that's something that we certainly need to consider. So that's kind of what we're working with.
Who's in charge?
Isaac and Sapphire will both say me at the same time.
Right. I would propose that my friends and I, with the help of the skilled healer young lady and our friend Alan Orfman, we would be able to take the riverbed district. That seems to be the best use. Tor, you could come with us. That seems the best use of our talents. If we could stop the spread, that seems to be the highest priority to me. That seems like something a smaller team like ours, and my 29 skeletons, I guess, but that seems like something the smaller team would be able to have the biggest impact by kind of shutting that down.
And I feel like Kenawan should likely handle the Glitzcliff situation and then also try to make contact with Hashish outside of the town.
Hashish outside of the town. Is that... I'm not familiar. And Leon will fill Kenawan in on what all of that is.
We're going to need a massive parley between all of the parties before all-out war breaks out with Taiyang. And we're going to need it quickly, because if we do not have a unified force, Taiyang will invade as soon as the cloud is gone.
Right. Well, what do the rest of you think?
Honestly, I think I would be best served on a team where I can help out and like maybe put on some band-aids, but also like I found blasting the mind flayers to be really effective. So if I could do that again, that would be cool.
Isaac will nod. There's some sort of concern on his face, and he'll eventually just say, "Are you sure you're up for that, Penelope? I don't mean to talk down. It's just."
I mean, you saw me out there, right? You saw.
Honestly,
I
was so busy pulling Nelton out of the crap he kept getting himself into.
You saw me out there. I took down so many baddies. I think I can handle it.
All right.
I'm not a child anymore, Isaac. I'm almost an adult. Let me do this.
Okay. Just be careful.
She'll be fine. You let her drink wine.
Also, is it supposed to taste this gross, or is it just wine?
Honey, you get used to it.
Okay.
You know, it's not supposed to. Let me taste yours just to make sure it's fine.
I hand over my glass that I've barely sipped. I've just been taking like little baby sips.
And I'll take a sip. Oh, you should not have been drinking this. And I'm gonna clean this out for you. And I'll turn away to like, as if I'm gonna throw it away, and I'll just chug the whole thing.
Isaac winks at you. He appreciates that.
Okay.
You said you're running low on wine and ale supplies. Is that necessary for morale?
It certainly helps morale, yes.
What are your forces like? Do you have many people?
No,
No,
we don't have many people.
No. Okay, not many people at all.
Let me find my exact numbers here.
Do you have a lot of dead people?
Yeah, do you have any other, magical children or corpses that we could use?
The Magistrate has some magic users. Pride has a couple mages. I think that the Shadow Gloves do as well. Sapphire will shrug, giving away nothing. And that obviously frustrates Isaac. And so he says, we have a few score soldiers, but I wouldn't say into the hundreds. Does anyone want to go check on the skeletons with me?
What? Me?
Anyone. I want to be sure they're not, I'm pretty confident that they'll follow your instructions. I want to check on it.
The way you're saying it makes me want to go check on them, but previously I did not want to. But yes, let's go check on my skeletons.
As you head toward the door, Sapphire will call. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure there's nothing, no need.
Why are you all saying it like this? I run. Paris! Vengeance! Silton!
So you open the back doorway from the kitchen storage area into the backyard that overlooks the cliffs. And not Zachariah, that is you. Isaac will immediately grab your arm and he'll say, we need to find a way to get the Shadow Gloves out of here. They're going to usurp us if we don't.
Shadow Gloves is Sapphire?
Yes.
Maybe if you did a better name. What if it was like Shadow Cats? Because Night Cats, you've just kind of pushed them out completely. You know what I mean?
I don't think that taking...
Night and Shadow, it's not the same thing.
To me, Zachariah,
okay,
please.
I am listening.
Taking back their headquarters will only empower them further.
Okay.
That's all.
But I mean, why are you so sure she's not your ally?
I just am. I think you would be too in my situation.
No, convince me.
You know how fraught this is. I can't trust anyone.
What are you talking about? You have to trust these people. That's not you can't. You have no choice. You must. If you go into this half-heartedly, or if you're waiting for a moment to betray these people, you're the problem, Isaac. You have confided in the wrong individual. I am worried about you now.
That's... He's visibly frustrated.
What are you worried about losing, Isaac?
My life, the life of my followers, the city, the entire... None of this... You know what? Forget it. Check on your skeletons. He'll head back inside.
I would kind of grab his shoulder on the way in and say, I see no need to share what you just said to me at this juncture, but you really need to think differently about this.
All right.
Are my skeletons okay?
Yeah, your skeletons are fine.
I really check them.
Yeah.
Like, why were they all saying that?
While Zachariah is checking back in the kind of conference area, Raelon would speak for the first time, and he would say, well, first of all, it's wonderful to meet each of you. Always great to have new recruits. I do worry about retaking the riverbed complex at present because my Red Blades, while we've been doing scouting in the city, we've heard, I'm sure many of you have heard as well, the name Cephalosk. We think that Cephalosk has taken residence in the riverbed. So if you go in, be prepared for a tremendous fight. I fear that Cephalosk is the, how do you say it? The ringleader behind these mind flayers.
Have me and Arf heard the name Cephalos?
A little bit,
before?
yeah. You'd
Okay.
have heard similar rumors. Like, some of the people that are clearly under some kind of trance have mentioned the name a couple times.
Okay.
Seems the fungal cracks is the perfect place to start.
Tor squish things.
Mr. Tor, you can squish many things.
Tor lifts his anchor, ready to go. Like a happier look on his face. No.
What do you say, Arf? Another mission?
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready to go. And he's stumbled a little bit. He's had a bit of wine, but he's up and at him. Kind of stands up and like falls back down a little bit, and then just stands up again.
Are you sure that wine was okay? You drank a lot of it.
You see, now the wine that you had, it had turned very quickly. The one that I had was fantastic, so I'm very sorry you had a bad experience. Maybe any wine you get in the future, just let me try it to see if it's good for you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arf.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I have heard it two potential objectives. The
Am I back
fungal
in?
crags. You can be back in at this point. The fungal crags or the riverbed.
I think out of character, if the ringleader's in the riverbed complex, maybe we take the fungal crags first. A
It was
little
the
warm
other
up.
way around, I think.
Oh, is
think
it the other way
ring-
around?
I could
Or
have
no,
swore it
you're
was
right.
the ringleader.
You're right. You had it right.
You had me so convinced I was wrong, Grant. I was like, whatever you say, Grant.
Gaslighting.
That's not what that is.
I know.
I definitely think fungal crags, if funtime crabs, if riverbed has baddie in it.
Well, don't we want to kill the baddie?
I think maybe we do warm up. We do warm up mission before like the big mission.
That will increase our power.
And maybe we can hem a little bit more before, we go in.
I'm not opposed to it with the new information about Snugglepuss. What was the name?
Cephalosk.
Snugglepuss, Mr. Snugglepuss.
Actually, I thought you were talking
Snuffleupagus.
about Leon.
Snufflelusk. What was it?
Snugglepuss is his OnlyFans name.
Snugglepuss.
Only fins.
On
I
OnlyFans.
I need to talk to you and you and you and you. I'm pointing to the player characters.
We could go check your skeletons again.
Yeah, let's go check. You guys want to check my skeletons? I look at each of them.
Sapphire visibly rolls her eyes.
You motion as if you're like winking, but you're
Right, I don't
just
have an eye.
angling your head to the side a little bit.
Want to go check my skeletons?
I think we should go check Mr. Zachariah's skeletons.
Let's go. And I just start walking already.
Then I would relay to them what happened with Isaac, and just say, hey, I used to having a crew, you see. I had some very close friends that I knew for most of my life, almost all of my life, and we got very close, and I confided in them, and we made decisions together, I guess, until we didn't. But until I reunite with them, I need to vent about this. I'm worried about Isaac, and I'm potentially also worried about Sapphire, and I have a feeling the first chance one of them gets is they're going to stab the other one in the back.
That does sound pretty serious.
That does sound... Can I make like an insight check just because I've kind of been around Isaac to like get a sense of if he's okay?
Yes.
Okay. That's an 8.
Isaac is clearly under a lot of stress, and Penelope, even if you weren't like close friends with any of them, you know that all of the gangs in question have lost members.
I mean, I can't really speak to Isak or Sapphire personally, but it's been really stressful. And, you know, they both have people and they have to put on these, like, strong faces. And maybe it's just, like, they need, like, a break. But we can't really take a break because, you know, the city's under siege. So maybe sooner we get rid of the illithid mind flayers better.
But if we don't have a plan, the second the illithids are gone, we're going to have to fight the real monster. And that's adult fleshbacks. No offense to the fleshbacks here.
I'm not an adult, so I don't take offense.
I'm just saying, Isak is actively undermining Sapphire while we are planning this mission. What do we do? Do we tell Kenwan, or do we just leave it? Do we just go soldier up, take the fungal crabs, and figure it out later?
Well, we could establish dominance now and establish ourselves as leaders.
That is true. We could draw, maybe not us. I stop for a second. I'm like, oh wait, okay. I like the concept. What if we kind of drew lines now? What if we put Kenwan to work on a diplomatic alliance right now between these forces, between Leon, between Sapphire, between Isak, and that way Kenwan knew what he could realistically offer to Hashish and to Glitzcliff. Maybe we need to clean house first before we talk to other people.
I mean, do we have to clean house with Isak, though? Can't we keep him around?
No, not kill him yet.
Yeah, thank you.
I say yet very not kill him. I'm saying we clean house, like we figure out what the alliance is going to be. Maybe we do temporarily, as a neutral party, say we'll be the deciding vote for now.
We are neutral.
That sounds good to me, because I wasn't about to clean anybody's house.
It's a saying.
Well, I'm not doing it still.
I'm not either.
There's one flaw in our plan that I foresee is that it will cause immediate cracking of the alliance.
Why? If we claim
I don't
leadership,
know.
dominance...
So it will either work awfully or fail tremendously.
That's true. I stroke my beard. I wish Jack was here.
I do think if there was anyone in this group that had leadership capability, I do think it would be Mr. Tor. I'd follow him anywhere.
Tor, are you ready to become president of Cliffs Bay?
He is quite fearsome.
Tor looks confused at everybody as he's pulling the Quaggoth body that he has stuck to his anchor off and throwing it over the edge of the cliff.
No! Stop!
Those are research subjects.
He had forgotten about it until this moment, and then just, like, decided to toss it. You guys stop him.
Tor don't like betrayal.
You like betrayal?
No.
No like betrayal.
No like.
No
Yes.
like. Yes? Yes?
Turns his head. No.
No. Yes, no like. Yes, no like.
Now he's just confused.
Is Nelton still back in the tavern?
Damn it, Nelton.
Nelton is still back in the tavern, drinking lots of ale.
Maybe we can get Nelton's opinion, because he's been pretty close to Isak and, you know, kind of inside the whole crew. Maybe he has an opinion.
He's obviously loyal to Isak, though.
I mean, so am I, but, like...
I look at her. Wait.
I'm not, like, part of his crew or anything, but, like, you know...
I mean, Sapphire's kind of hot, too, right?
I mean, I guess.
I say not Nelton. I say Kenwan.
He is a wayfinder. That's what they're supposed to do.
I mean, I haven't really spent too much time with Kenwan, but from the time I have spent with him, he has been an upright guy.
I think I agree with Tor for president, but I think maybe they would agree with Kenwan being the temporary leader.
Does Kenwan even want to lead? I mean, he's kind of... it's
Not
kind
lead,
of his whole...
like, you know what I mean? Like,
Arbitrate.
yeah.
There we go.
He's the intermediary. He's the go-to guy.
And I think he's focusing more on the monsters and less on the people. And I think now that we're here, we can focus on the monsters and he can focus on the people of Cliffs Bay, is my opinion.
Sounds logical to me. I mean, if that is still the objective, to hold this city together. We haven't given that up yet completely.
I would prefer it if we didn't let the city fall. No, thank you.
Well, the problem
Seems
is
rather hopeless. I must be honest.
Listen, here's the problem though: is if we don't win in the right order, it just becomes worse.
Indeed.
It's an order of operations thing.
You've all been quite nice to me and saved my life now on an occasion. So I'll be honest, the fungal crag seems like a great target for me to begin research.
There's magic stuff there too. You love magic stuff.
Yes, indeed. I love
Magic
stuff.
items, maybe books.
Absolutely. Stuff for the taking. And, I'm not saying that it's better off in being stolen, but it's better off not being in the hands of a mind flayer.
I mean, the town's being run by gangs. I don't think it's stealing. It's shopping.
Looting, whatever you want to call it.
No, come on. Let's work on our branding. Alan Orfman, you're in charge of marketing from now on. Come up with new words for Abraham.
Tor's visibly more excited when he's hearing, looting, stealing.
No.
I don't think the nuns would be really happy if I started, stealing and looting. It's kind of goes against their whole thing.
The nuns, by the way, are located in the Yellow area right now. They are in the Yellow Peninsula of West River District, close to where Heidi's Herbs and Crackle's information repository are.
Okay.
I can't ping it since it's a handout, but almost directly across from the Lion's Den.
Would it be... I'm gonna go get Sapphire real quick.
Should we talk to Kenawan first?
I think Sapphire, then Kenawan.
Okay.
Zachariah leaves. Tor's gonna put his hand on Penelope and say, look off to his side, and then look at her.
God said stealing fine.
Thumbs up, and then just goes back to what he was doing.
Now, see,
I mean, if your god says it's fine, that's fine, but I don't think, my order would be kind of happy with it.
Now, see, you keep saying that it's stealing. Try to think of it more as a change of ownership. That it's just transferring ownership from somebody else to yourself. They would want you to have it.
An acquisition.
Exactly.
But shouldn't I, at least trade, like how I'm going to trade for Raven with my mace?
You don't have to trade for... You're trading with offering a service and keeping it safe over there.
Ah, indeed. Maybe we should think of it as payment.
Exactly.
Yes, that kind of makes sense.
Certainly a steep price fixing whatever is going on here.
That's how we did it with Kraz. We just beat the fuck out of him, took his shit.
Who's Kraz?
Sounds like you worked with pirates.
Shouldn't we be doing it though because it's the right thing to do and not necessarily because we're getting something out of it, except
Oh, child.
Two things can be true at the same time. We can be getting something and the right thing can be good. I'll take the reward if we're doing something good too.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Knowledge is the ultimate reward, but there is many other kinds of rewards I'm interested in.
Money.
Sapphire will join the conversation once you are ready. Just let me know.
Sapphire, do you want to come check my skeletons?
She stands up. She looks at you. She looks at Isaac. She says, "Yes, let's go outside and plan against Isaac, just like Isaac just planned against me. Stop this stupid charade. Let's go." And she'll saunter over to you.
I don't know what she's talking about. We're just gonna check my skeletons. Be right back.
I think Penelope is actually checking the skeletons and doing...
Okay. On the map, can you see the NPC sanity bar or just their health bar?
Just their health bar.
Just their health.
Okay. Cool. Well, then I will let you know I am tracking all of their sanity, and none of their sanity is at 100%.
That's a lot of stuff to
That's
track.
a lot of tracking.
Is
Nathan.
that
You
my
good?
Employee? Is that Azure?
That
my
is a
employee?
Yeah, good eye, good memory.
Who works for me?
Yes. You spot the water genasi over at the table with a dwarf that has mud in his beard. They're sharing a pint of ale.
I bet his name's Mudbeard. Bet.
Mudbeard the pirate.
Mudbeard and Azure. She works for me. I own her entire fucking life because she tried to hurt me.
Zachariah.
Wait, she's the reason all of this happened. I'm really mad at her, I'm realizing.
Are we going to go check on your skeletons or not? Let's get this farce over with. What do you want to talk about?
We have got a problem. As you know, there are people moving everywhere. What's going on?
We're going to check on your skeletons. Get with it.
Oh, okay. There's a map now. Are we gonna get attacked?
Maybe.
Okay.
You know I can turn raw materials into fabricated materials, so if you ever need ale, just get me a bunch of wheat, okay?
Good to know. That'll keep morale up.
It's quite beautiful out here.
Yes.
All
right, what? You wanted to speak with me?
You seem less amenable to conversation than you were like a half hour ago.
I'm just tired of this whole game of deception. Speak your mind.
Well, so you know, I told Isak the same fucking thing. I'm only talking to you alone so that you and I can get some shit straight with the, no offense, idiots back in there. So I'd appreciate checking the attitude. I cover Penelope's ears while I'm saying all this.
Okay.
They're really bony. Ow!
Arf manages to pocket a bottle of whiskey discreetly.
Yes.
Yes. So anyways, now that we're not being passive aggressive with each other, I am worried about Isak's ability to undertake the complexity and the difficulty of the operation we're about to undertake. And he is literally one eye over his shoulder at all times, waiting for you to stab him in the back. And you have got to convince him you are on his side, or he's worthless out there.
Well, he's not on my side. How am I supposed to be on his side?
So this is like both of your problem, which is kind of what I was worried about.
Well, based on what you just told me, he's not on my side.
He's worried about you stabbing him in the back.
How can I trust him if he's worried about that?
Well, you remember a long time ago when I threw a rat at you and then we talked?
Yes. By the way, Penelope, you can hear all of this because Zachariah doesn't have flesh. So
Yeah, it's just as uncomfortable.
right.
I've uncovered her ears now that I chastised her. It's the same thing. You just have to do that again. All I am asking is from a highly intelligent wizard to, no offense, a highly intelligent flesh bag. If we make a diplomatic agreement with the Wayfinders, can I trust you to respect it on your honor? And then I can get Isak in line.
Of course. I'm concerned with the city as much as anyone else.
Can I make an insight check?
You can make an insight check.
Okay, hopefully I do better this time.
Penelope.
Oh, that's a 12. I have +6 to my insight, and I'm just rolling terribly. Do I trust her?
You do trust her.
This message has been hidden. I mean, I don't have any reason not to believe her. She seems like the level-headed one of the bunch. I just seizing power before Taiyang has been handled, before the hashish has been handled. I mean, you gotta be smarter than that.
Oh, I certainly agree. The mind flayers are our first concern, but they are not our only concern, not by a long stretch.
Right. And I told Isak that Shadow Cubs was a way better name. Shadow Cats. Shadow Cubs is even good, but that's a little flippant towards him. So we should do Shadow Cats,
I
right?
do like Shadow Cubs, yes.
Shadow Cubs?
Is it Craig's new gang?
Shadow Cubs.
Shadow Cubs.
Is the Shadow Cubs kind of like the junior Night Cats?
It's like, yeah, the Cub Scouts. Shadow Cats is a great name, Zachariah. She smiles.
What about the Weebelows?
What? I'm sorry.
I look at her, I was like, you really like Shadow Cats?
Yeah, it sounds badass.
I look around and I'm like, no one's ever said that to me before.
I've said I liked your bird.
A flicker of a smile plays over Sapphire's lips, and she nods. She's like, I'm glad that you're back, Zachariah.
I look very closely at her. You're being a lot nicer than you were last time we met.
The mind flayers have taken over the city since last we met. Things change.
I look at, like, Abraham. I look at her. I'm like, I don't... You could just talk to me, Sapphire. We don't have to do this. I'm not... I don't care about the government. I don't care about West Danica. I think we have more in common than you think we do. I take off my mask, and show her that I'm dead.
Oh, I knew. That's not nice to me.
Every time he does it, Penelope's like...
I was like, look, I don't care about the government. I don't care about any of that. I mean, honestly, I don't even care about Isak. I just need to know you're not going to tank this operation or stab him in the back as soon as you get a chance. You have to respect the diplomatic treaties we put in place. And you don't have to condescend to me. I'm really not stupid. I'm like really smart.
No, I recognize that you are. Intellect sees intellect.
Right. And intellect sees when you're like, there's no way you actually like shadow cats. No one ever likes my ideas.
I do like shadow cats. I really do.
If you're not going to be honest with me.
Are you going to lead a mission to the fungal crags?
What do you want me to do?
I think that's a fine place to start. I'm selfish. I admit that. Everyone is. It's just whether you know that you are or not. I want the riverbed to be retaken so that I can have a home again. Fungal crags is as good a place to start as any. We have objectives. We have to do them.
What do you want when all this is over? Because my friends and I, we have no allies. I need you to understand that clearly.
Security, freedom, peace. What does anyone want?
Eternal life, massive horde of skeletons, mastery over complex magic.
I hope you find all of those. They interest me not.
Smashing the system and rebuilding it from the ground up.
Whoa,
freedom
okay.
from...
Now you want to talk...
What?
One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Okay. I look at Abraham like, they never want to talk about labor revolution. I don't know why.
Big picture ideas. People rarely do.
Okay. I don't know, man. This feels so like lose-lose. Feels like we got enemies abound, I think, is a spell in D&D.
That is a spell in D&D, yeah.
That's how I feel right now. I don't no offense to the other players. I don't fucking know you guys either. So like,
Penelope just wants her city to be safe.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to stay eyes on the prize for now. I mean, Zachariah definitely trusts Sapphire to at least take back the city. And then fucking shit, dude, it's gonna be a powder keg. Well, Abraham, let's get some cool magic shit. I'm down for that. Honestly, leave all this talking behind. Let's go find some cool magical shit.
I think I'm ready to blow up some more mind flares, so...
I put my hand in the center of the group.
We'll study this strange pollution cloud and figure out how to disperse it and control it. Put my hand in.
Penelope puts her flesh hand in.
Cool magic shit. I put my hand up in the air.
Yay!
Put my weird, gloved hand in.
All right.
And then I don't need to like role play it, but I would basically relay my conversation to Kenawan and tell him that I feel strongly as a wayfinder, it is his job to stop thinking about the war and start thinking about the diplomacy now that we're here and we can kind of take that fighting force.
This is probably a longer conversation, but to abbreviate it, since we're coming up on time, Kenawan would convey to Zachariah that his training is actually in fighting. Like, there are different factions of wayfinders, different, like, in kind of trite terms, there's different grad schools of wayfinders, and his was the militaristic one.
Okay.
That said, all wayfinders are also intergalactic diplomats, and so even though it's not his focus, he has training in it, and he's especially willing to step into that role now that there's more adventurers to kind of take the front lines. Mitsuka actually is specifically trained in the diplomatic, like the higher diplomatic arts than Kenawan is.
I remember she was always charming people.
That's one of the Wayfinder's methods, it seems.
Right.
I will work on this. I'll recruit, or I'll redirect Mitsuka's energies as well now that the rest of you are here. And as you all prepare to embark, Isaac would approach and he would say, I want to warn you all, keep your eyes out. No, listen, that mind flayer that we killed recently, that was the first mind flayer to die in Cliffs Bay.
Nice.
And they're a hive mind.
Nice. I high five Tor.
High fives back.
I kind of have my hand up and no one high fives me.
Inspiration.
Oh, man.
Oh, a DM inspiration?
Inspiration, Penelope.
Aw.
Isaac will say, the thing about mind flayers, as far as I'm aware, they are immediately aware of that, so they're going to be out for blood.
Nice.
Just be careful.
Well, so are we.
If this was a
like that.
story, I would say the chapter should be called The Thing About Mind Flayers.
I like that too.
Like, if this was maybe some sort of episodic series?
Right. They should write a story about this.
All right. We do you need a long rest, or do you feel like the urgency is too great for that right now.
I don't need one, but if we short rested,
Arf is a little bit drunk.
he is.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
fine. Don't you worry about me.
Well, that's what all drunk people say.
You can certainly all have a short rest across all of those conversations. There is time for anyone who needs a short rest to take one.
That's how many spells I used in the last fight. Because I'm a badass.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I used a lot of my
That was 0
abilities.
for the audience that couldn't see Grant's hand.
It was 0. Can the Quaggoths be zombified?
Yes.
Yes. The horde groweth.
Are you gonna bring back your buddy? You had one skeleton that died, or zombie. Which one was
Yep.
it?
I'm gonna bring him back. Add 2 zombies for now because I can't remove their flesh until I've had a long rest.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only reason I would want to long rest is to get my banishment back. But other than that, I think I'm good.
Perfect.
Is there anywhere in the town that would have like store, like wood, metal, twine, things of that nature? Because I could arm a large force pretty quickly with access to.
It's in Mind Flare controlled territory.
I just want to put that on the map. I could easily arm an entire force with crossbows and armor and things of that nature.
I think that should be one of our military targets.
Excellent.
Sapphire and I will get to planning.
Who are you again?
Isaac. Sorry, I'm Isaac. Sapphire and
Hi,
I will
Isaac.
get to planning that. Hi, Zachariah.
I put my arm around Isaac and Sapphire. I don't mean to be too forward, but I know humans do this thing sometimes when they don't get along, where they rub their genitals together and they become very close friends.
Wow!
Have you considered bonding in this nature?
No. They both respond immediately.
I look at Leon, stroke my beard, and then I walk away.
There is definitely tension between Isaac and Sapphire. It does not appear to be sexual.
You
I mean,
sure?
all
It
tension.
could be.
All tension is eventually sexual. Let's be clear. I read it in a book.
All right. Next week, you will all head out to the fungal crags. Yes, the original goal has not changed, or rather, the immediate goal.
Yeah, so the immediate goal is good. I'm actually considering Abraham's idea where we just take the city long term, but short term, yes.
Okay. Perfect. We'll find out how that goes next week. This has been Sanity Damage, To Whom the Sea Belongs. Thank you for joining us on this epic voyage. We would love to hear from you, so you can go to linktree/the Kaleidosphere or linktree/sanity damage to find links to our social media and our Discord, which is the best place to come and hang out with us. We have a fantastic community here. This podcast is a homebrew podcast, and our dice sponsor is FanRoll. You can get amazing dice and dice accessories at fanrolldice.com. Use the coupon code homebrew for 10% off of anything on the website. I'm especially enamored of the liquid core dice. Those are very lovely creations by fanrolldice.com. So go to fanrolldice.com, use the coupon code homebrew. This campaign is dedicated to Brandon, who we hold in loving memory. To Whom the Sea Belongs is a campaign set in the Kaleidosphere. That's kale, like the vegetable, Ido, I-D-O, sphere. Join us next week as we march on the fungal crags.